You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a Joplin mother expresses her pride and fear as her sons head west to help fight the California wildfires.
Also, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly discusses the past, present, and possible future of Kansas during her State of the State address.
And it's still chilly, but we are much warmer this morning than where we were yesterday, and we are going to be warm. It's just going to be nice today. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Thursday, January the 16th. We're trucking right along into January. And of course, a lot of folks on the West Coast being devastated by just some absolutely incredible wildfires that are going on out there.
It's been a tough start of the year for them. In fact, 2 brothers from Joplin have found themselves helping to save lives in California as intense and dangerous wildfires continue to wreak havoc.
KOAM's Anthony Saviello spoke with their mother about not only what her sons and family are going through, but what they're facing.
I'm ridiculously proud of them.
Erica Christensen has good reason to be proud of her 2 boys, Jacob and Jaron.
So right now they're just making sure that none of the embers that are being blown around start a fire, and that there are no arsons.
Both former Marines now find themselves in California, working to control the fires that have destroyed over 12,000 structures and claimed the lives of dozens.
Their leader got a message that, do you have anybody that'd be willing to go? And the boys were like, absolutely, 100%. Sign me up.
Despite their courage, their mother still worries.
Yeah, a little bit. I told them that they could maybe man the check-in station or something.
Sure.
They said no.
However, there's peace of mind, knowing they're looking out for each other.
Probably telling Jaron to look out for Jake. Jake is a little more like a bull in a china closet. And Jaron's a bit quieter, a little more, he thinks things through a bit more.
For those moms out there going through the same thing, Erica says,
we should get coffee and then we can cry together. Yeah. Stay busy.
And for those affected by the fires in California.
In California, not to worry though. My superheroes are there. It's going to be fine.
Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Erica says her uncle is also over in California helping with the Red Cross. So certainly a family full of leaders and just service oriented. So it's great to see.
Yeah, certainly so. And they need all the help they can get out on the West Coast. I mean, it's very devastating.
Unbelievable.
We have our own natural disasters to deal with here, but I could not imagine the fires and the situation they're facing. That's just incredible to have to go through.
Devastating.
Because it keeps going.
With our
severe weather events, it comes, it's gone. But with this, it's been going on for weeks. Yeah. Well, thankfully in our area, we don't have to deal with any of that. In fact, today, it's going to be a really nice day. It's going to be pretty good tomorrow as well. But let's get you through this morning. Of course, our camera downtown Pittsburgh got a beautiful sunrise out there. Skies are clear, and it is chilly, but it isn't as bad as it was yesterday. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin also looking good. And, of course, skies overhead are clear. And the KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue south of Pittsburgh. And, of course, it's looking at the road. But once we get the sunrise, we'll get it through those trees here and we'll know the skies are clear, and that's how they're going to remain today. Heading into the afternoon, we again have some light winds this morning out of southwest. By this afternoon or even through the morning, they're going to calm down. They're going to be just straight up calm, maybe a light breeze out there, but it's going to be pretty nice. And by noon, we're already looking at mid-upper 40s, even some low 50s. And I think we're going to see a lot more of our communities go into the low 50s for highs today than what we were anticipating yesterday. I was thinking more upper 40s and just some low 50s, but I think today it's going to be the opposite of what I was thinking yesterday. And clear skies continue. It won't be until late this evening that winds shift out of the south, and then overnight they'll begin to increase. Quick look at those temperatures. 33 in Joplin, 32 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, we've got temperatures into the 30s. except Neodesha and Parsons. They're both sitting at 28 right now, but just about everyone else hanging out low, mid, and upper 30s. And that's putting us upwards of 20 degrees warmer now than it was 24 hours ago. So like I said, I know it's still chilly, but it's a lot better than what it was yesterday when we were in the single digits and teens in some of our northern communities. All right, clear skies today, get some upper 40s. I think most of us will make the low 50s. Calm winds, not too bad. Winds increase tonight, temperatures increase tomorrow, then they'll significantly decrease tomorrow night. Details on all that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly delivered the State of the State speech. The governor spoke in front of Kansas lawmakers in the House chamber last night. Now, Kelly focused on accomplishments such as public school funding, balancing the state budget, and tax cuts, including axing the state's grocery tax.
As of 2 weeks ago, no Kansan is paying state sales tax on groceries. As you all know, it took a while, but we got it done. And there's more relief on the way. In total, I've signed into law $2 billion in.
Now, Kelly went on to say it's time to focus on the future of the Sunflower State. She says priorities include investing in child care, public school funding, and a multi-generational push to protect the water supply. Well, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe signed 6 executive orders since taking office on Monday. It's part of his Safer Missouri plan. KOAM's Samantha Walker breaks down how one executive order aims to further cooperation among law enforcement agencies.
During his inaugural address, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe detailed his plans to make Missouri safer, taking action through a series of executive orders. One establishes Operation Relentless Pursuit, an initiative to locate and apprehend fugitives with felony arrest warrants. Kehoe explained the need for the program in his orders, saying, quote, "Studies show that individuals evading felony warrants are likely to engage in additional criminal activity, further endangering Missouri citizens and communities." Going on to add, quote, "Addressing this challenge requires a concerted, intelligence-led approach that leverages state, federal, county, and local law enforcement resources. Operation Relentless Pursuit establishes intelligence sharing between the Missouri Information Analysis Center and the U.S. Marshals Service Investigations Operations Division in hopes of having more current information on the location of fugitives. The operation will also designate a full-time Missouri Highway Patrol Division of Drug and Crime Control investigator in each region of the state to assist with the initiative. They'll act as a liaison for drug task forces and other federal, state, and local agencies. The executive order encourages collaboration between national, state, county, and municipal law enforcement agencies. In a statement to KOAM, a spokesperson for MSHP says, quote, "We will work to implement those directives provided by the governor." The governor also said he would be taking action on further steps to make Missouri a safer place to live. Governor Kehoe is expected to detail more of his implementation plans for orders like Operation Relentless Pursuit during his State of the State address on January 28th. Reporting, I'm Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The governor plans to implement more of the Safer Missouri plan within the coming weeks. You can learn more about the executive orders Kehoe has signed so far on our website. It's KOAMNewsNow.com. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we introduce you to Captain Austin Wolf of the Joplin Police Department. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Captain Austin Wolf is with us this morning from the Joplin Police Department, and this is Captain Wolf's first time with us this morning. Happy to have you. Welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're happy to have you for the rest of the year, so it'll be great. Talk to me a little bit about kind of just who you are and your experience with law enforcement.
Sure. Yeah, I grew up in the Joplin area, went to Joplin High School. Whenever I graduated high school, I started at Missouri Southern, and over the course of my college time, I've always been interested in law enforcement. That really piqued it. And about the time that I graduated from Missouri Southern, the Joplin Police Department started a new program where they would not only hire you and pay for your academy, but they'd pay you a salary going to it.
Oh, wow.
So, of course, as a brand new graduate, that was an excellent opportunity. So I started the police academy a little over 17 years ago, and then over the course of the last 17 years, I've been at the Joplin Police Department. since this 17 years started, I've had the opportunity and been blessed to serve in different roles and different bureaus. And I've got to be a police officer, I've got to be a detective, I've got to work in our train division and hold different supervisor positions all around the department. And so now I get to be the PIO.
Fantastic. And talk to me a little bit about, growing up in Joplin and then being able to serve the community for so long. Talk to me about kind of what that has meant to you just throughout the years.
Well, my heart's in Joplin. I'm born and raised in Joplin, got to play sports in Joplin, attended college in Joplin. My family is from Joplin, and they've served in different capacities in the community, my parents, my grandparents, and so it's a traditional opportunity that I've been able to take on, and I have a big passion for Joplin, the citizens of Joplin, and just trying to make it better for everybody.
Absolutely fantastic. And for, folks in Joplin and even those surrounding communities, as a law enforcement officer, someone who's been in the field for a very long time, talk to me about ways that people can continue to keep their community safe on the day-to-day.
The big thing is if you see something, report it. Oftentimes we talk to people that say, I thought I saw something, but I didn't know what to do. If you see something, report it. If it looks odd, it probably is odd. And the more eyes that we have out there, the better we can report and the better we can take care of things, because, our citizens are where we get our calls, and if it's something that we need to look into, we'll absolutely look into it. So if you see something, report it.
Absolutely. Well, Captain Wolf, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you here. Looking forward to having you throughout the year. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:16 on this Thursday morning. We're going to start with the future track as we head into the afternoon hours. And boy, not a lot going on today. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful day. In fact, we're going to be a little warmer than what we were thinking yesterday. Not much, but still. It's warmer, not colder. We'll certainly take it. By noon, most of us upper 40s, even some low 50s out there. A light and variable breeze, if not just straight up calm winds. It'll be a great day. If you got something outside you need to get done, or maybe just want to be outside, today's a great day to do it. Plentiful sunshine. It's going to be absolutely wonderful out there. Now, as we go overnight, winds will start to shift out of the south this evening, and overnight they start to increase. We're gusting upwards of 25, perhaps 30 miles an hour. And then, as we go through the day Friday, those winds increase even more. We're starting our Friday into the 30s for most of us out there. And then the clouds increase, the winds increase, still out of the south, but now they're gusting upwards of 35, potentially 40 miles an hour. And we'll start to see shower opportunities. Now, we could see an isolated shower truly anywhere, but the better chances, which again are very slim, for any kind of rain is really going to be along and south of the I-44 corridor as we head into tomorrow afternoon. We're otherwise mostly cloudy, very breezy. By about 4, so when we start to see this cold front start to push in, you see that wind shift line, you can almost even see it in the clouds themselves. As we get behind it, north winds, and temperatures begin to drop. Ahead of that front, again, maybe a few additional isolated showers along the I-44 corridor. Otherwise, we'll continue to watch temperatures fall back behind. And eventually, we'll even go partly cloudy as we go overnight, Friday into Saturday. But then the clouds will increase again on Saturday. Winds are out of the north, and Saturday, excuse me, we are looking at highs, possibly for some of us early day highs. We're talking 4 o'clock in the morning, reaching the low 30s, and the temperatures will drop back a bit for a number of us into the upper 20s. And then the clouds, they'll work as that blanket like we've talked about. They're just going to lock us in into the upper 20s. Temperatures just do not move much through the majority of the day Saturday. It won't be until Saturday night that they begin to fall, and then it gets even colder heading into the start of next week. 33 in Joplin right now. Skies are clear. It looks absolutely beautiful. The wind's continuing to ease up. Temperatures, especially for some of our northern counties here, you're upwards of 20 some odd degrees warmer now than you were 24 hours ago. We've got low, mid, and upper 30s for just about everybody, except Neodesha and Parsons. They're doing their own thing right now, both sitting at 28. Through the morning we go. Clear skies all day, 30s to start, 40s by 11 a.m. And again, highs today. Some upper 40s, yes, but I think most of us will be in the low, maybe even mid 50s out there. Plentiful sunshine and calm winds. Winds shift out of the south late this evening, and overnight they increase, gusting to 25. Clear skies continue. Back down into the 30s for our lows tonight. Tomorrow, again, mid-upper 50s, maybe even a couple of low 60s in our southern counties. Breezy, cloudy, and then the rain. And then by the evening, that cold front comes in, dropping our temperatures into the weekend. Now we're into the 20s, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for highs. Teens for the overnight lows as we kick off next week. We won't be close to normal again. It doesn't look like until next Saturday. Could see some rain, maybe a little wintry mix by next Wednesday. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. The Pittsburgh Police and Fire Departments are both ready to go head-to-head in this year's Battle of the Badges. We have Paul Lyle, one of the organizers of the event, with us to share more. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Elise.
Happy to have you with us. Thanks so much for joining us. So talk to me a little bit about this event and how long it's been going for.
Well, this is our 9th annual one in Pittsburgh, the Battle of the Badges. But first and foremost, it's a blood drive.
Yes.
And the incentive is, taste a little chili, vote for your favorite. The police and fire department will both be there serving the chili and kibitzing with people to try to get their votes. The results will be certified by the county clerk and a trophy awarded to the winning department. But we're there to collect blood, and people don't understand the need for blood is constant. Every 2 seconds in this country, someone needs blood. That works out to about 15,768,000 pints of blood per year.
Wow.
And only about 4 million people donate every year. So really, we have to get people back anywhere from 2 to 4 times to donate blood. And we encourage people to come out and be a first-time donor, get into that, because, it's so hard to get people to do this. Today, with our lifestyle, with single-parent families, with 2 people working, they just don't have time. And we forget that trauma victims need blood. Burn victims, the wildfires out in California. We talked the death toll maybe 20 or 24, but over 800 people have been burn victims, and they need plasma. They need blood desperately. So we encourage people to come out. The event is next Wednesday and Thursday at the Mirza Shrine on 5th Street. And if people can come by, come on, look at the process. Maybe join in and become a blood donor.
Absolutely. And just over the 9 years, how have you seen this, impact the community in and of itself, and just, having people come together to support that cause that you're talking about?
Support the Red Cross, and also to say thank you to our first responders.
Yes.
You can't walk up to a firefighter at an active fire scene and shake their hand, or a police officer when he's working a traffic crash. So this is an opportunity in a relaxed environment to say thank you and meet them and let them know that they're just like you and me. They're just people.
Absolutely, and get some chili too. Doesn't hurt either.
Some great chili. The fire department now is in the same position as the Kansas City Chiefs. They've won the last 2 years. They're going for a three-peat. So maybe the Chiefs and the fire department will, or maybe the police department will come through this year. You never know.
You never know. All right. Well, thank you so much, Paul. Happy to have you. Thanks so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure. And I want to thank KOAM and Fox 14. You've been very good to us over the years with publicity.
Of course. Thank you so much. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:27. I'm Elise Snowy. Authorities in Joplin had their hands full with a series of crashes yesterday morning. Reports of a crash came in about 11:30 on 249 near Zora. Responders came upon a series of crashes where some vehicles had struck each other and some vehicles had struck debris. 5 vehicles required towing from the scene. 1 person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. If you're looking for an affordable form of dental care, some students at MSSU might have you covered. For $30, Missouri Southern dental hygiene students offer a range of services, including cleanings, x-rays, and even oral cancer screenings, all without the need for insurance. The professors say it's not only an opportunity for students to master essential skills, but also a chance to give back to the community.
So we really need people in the community to volunteer or have their time to come out for our students to clean their teeth. It's a fantastic deal. It's $30, which can include sealants, fluoride varnish. We do anything. We do see kids age 5 and up, adolescents, geriatrics, adults.
The dental hygiene clinic at MSSU is open to the public every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is currently free to all students. And tax season is just around the corner, and for many people, choosing the right professional to work with is essential to the filing process. Many considerations going into making that choice, including familiarity with tax laws, deductions, tax credits, and filing jointly or separately for a married couple.
You want to ask questions about how long it's going to take to get your return, and certainly how much it's going to cost. And then something folks don't think about is, how are you going to keep my information safe? You give that tax preparer a lot of personal information about you, and you want to make sure that information is secure.
If you have questions about a tax expert's credentials, you can always check with the Better Business Bureau. Now let's head to Chris for a look at the forecast.
We've got ourselves a pretty decent day out there. It's going to be a nice one. It's a little chilly this morning, but again, we're upwards of, much warmer than where we were yesterday. We'll show you some specifics in a moment. Quick look outside. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear. The sun is rising. It is a beautiful start to the day. Same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline and Joplin. Folks getting their day underway, and clear skies overhead. And we're still looking pretty good from the KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. Into the afternoon we go. We got a light breeze out there now. Should be calm winds through most of today, maybe a light and variable breeze here and there, but otherwise not bad as our temperatures warm nicely. In fact, we're looking to be a little warmer than what we were thinking yesterday. Skies remain clear, and later this evening winds will shift out of the south, and overnight they will start to increase. Quick look at temperatures: 33 in Joplin, 32 in Pittsburgh, and across the area most of us are in the low, mid, and upper 30s. We've got Neodesha and Parsons both sitting at 28 as the colder spots out there, so not a bad start to the day. But despite all that, take a look. We are anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees warmer now than where we were 24 hours ago. So talk about a nice improvement. Still chilly, but a lot better than yesterday. All right, sunny skies, calm winds, highs upper 40s. I think the majority of us should make the low to mid 50s out there today. We'll have the winds increasing tonight. Clouds increasing tomorrow, temperatures increase tomorrow, and then the cold front comes through, and then that Arctic air follows right behind it. We'll go over all those details with you here in just a few more minutes, Lise.
All right, thanks, Chris. The Gordon Parks Museum in Fort Scott begins its two-day annual celebration for Martin Luther King Day. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more about the event.
I'm very moved by this experience.
Now is the time to
moving. That's how Fort Scott Community College freshman Jasmine Russaw describes the opportunity to recite an excerpt of Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, "I Have a Dream." To her, the speech is a symbol of bravery and hope.
His bravery in the things that he had to say in order to make a change.
She's one of the many Pitt State and Fort Scott Community College students who participated in reciting MLK's speech and some of his quotes.
Martin Luther King Jr. has so many important quotes.
Community members gathered at Gordon Parks Museum to celebrate MLK, who devoted his life to fighting for racial equality and civil rights.
One of our greatest African American leaders of all times, at least on his birthday, we should be celebrating the contribution in this country that folks who came over as slaves have made.
The museum board president says it's meaningful that the event took place at this particular museum because of Gordon Parks' contributions to fighting social injustice and racism.
Gordon Parks is one of many individuals who changed the world. So yeah, it makes sense to honor two great black men on the same day.
And she says it's important to continue teaching younger generations about King and his contributions to the success of the civil rights movement.
It feels so relevant. It always feels so pertinent to today to say, I have a dream.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Part 2 of the MLK celebration at the museum takes place on Monday and includes a food drive during the event. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. An Oregon student plays her way into history by becoming the state's first female chess grandmaster. In Consumer Watch this morning, the U.S. government is suing Southwest Airlines to move coming as the Transportation Department steps up enforcement of persistent flight delays. The lawsuit claims Southwest illegally operated chronically delayed flights and disrupted passengers' travel plans, adding it's seeking maximum civil penalties. The Transportation Department also announcing a fine against Frontier Airlines over delayed flights, costing the airline $650,000 in civil penalties. The FDA trying out a new tactic to make tobacco products less addictive. The agency announcing a proposed rule that would force tobacco companies to lower nicotine levels in some products. Now, the rule would lower the amount of tobacco to 0.7 milligrams. The amount would be low enough to potentially prevent addiction. The limits would not apply to vaping products, nicotine pouches, Zyn, or premium cigars. The FDA says the rule aims to prevent underage smoking and redirect adult smokers to lower risk alternatives. And 2024 was the year of music, with streams hitting the trillions, and women led the movement. A year-end report by Luminance says the global music industry tallied 4.8 trillion streams. Now, that is a new single-year record and a 14% jump from 2023. Female artists like Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter, and Chappell Roan led the way. We're going to go to a package on minimum wage hikes and the impact that it has.
These minimum wage hikes have been tough on restaurant owners. Many are still trying to figure out the best way to balance their budgets so staff and customers keep coming in.
The minimum wage, bumped up, that helps with my rent, gas prices.
Employees at this Denver pizza chain say they're making $4 more than minimum wage. The owner says offering higher salaries helps them stay competitive.
Our big challenges here is other pizza places, because people are fighting over higher hourly wages to get more and more.
Denver is one of about 65 cities in the U.S. adjusting to minimum wage increases that went into effect January 1st. The Mile High City is among other cities in Washington and California that offer non-tip workers some of the highest minimum wage in the country.
It's no coincidence that restaurants in those cities where you see these super high minimum wages have struggled to survive, and the closure rate in those cities for restaurants far exceeds the closure rates in other parts of the state.
Experts say for many restaurants, significant cost increases are not sustainable. Food and labor costs are the two biggest line items for a restaurant, each accounting for about 33 cents of every dollar in sales. Many restaurants also have low pre-tax profit margins, in between 3 and 5%, leaving little room for error. Owner of fast food restaurant Cheese Express says they adjusted to cost increases by raising their combo meal prices 70 cents last month. He says they'd have to raise prices more if they had more than 5 employees.
We have a small operation, small menu, as you can see. That's why our food cost will be a little bit down.
It takes around 12 employees to generate about $1 million in a restaurant, while it only takes about 4 employees to generate that same amount in a clothing store. In Denver, Kennedy Hayes, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 on this Thursday morning, and we're going to start again with the Future Track today. Fantastic day. You want to get outside? Get outside. Do you want to call in sick? I suggest you do it. Look, I'm not supposed to encourage you to do things like that, but today, going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day, even later in the day. Maybe take a little drive, stay in town. You don't have to go too far, but just enjoy this weather because it is not going to last more than about 36 hours, a little less than that. Yeah, somewhere in that range. Today, though, here we are at noon. Upper 40s, near 50 for most of us. Clear skies. Looking pretty good. Winds are going to be calm. Later this evening, though, winds will begin to shift out of the south overnight. Then they'll start to increase. They're going to be gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour out there. Out of the south. Clear skies tonight. Temperatures falling back into the 30s out there. Clouds, a couple of them early tomorrow morning, and then they'll increase through the morning, and the winds increase too. Still out of the south, but you see how these wind arrows are just doing that number? That's because they're going to be gusting upwards of 35, potentially 40 miles an hour. So again, that's why today's a better day to enjoy, but tomorrow it's going to be warmer. It's just going to be a lot windier as well. Mostly cloudy skies through the day on Friday, but take a look at our temperatures at noon tomorrow. Now we've got most of us low to mid 50s, maybe even some upper 50s by noon. Now, as we go into the afternoon, could see a few stray showers anywhere really across the area, but the slightly better chances of seeing rain are going to be along and south of the I-44 corridor at this particular point. But nonetheless, a stray sprinkle or shower will be possible elsewhere. Now, by about 4, here comes that wind shift line because here comes that cold front and here comes that Arctic air that's right back behind it. That's going to start to make things very chilly across the area. Ahead of that front, as it continues to slide off to the southeast Friday evening, a few more showers possible again right along and south of the I-44 corridor. That front pushes through. Winds will shift out of the north. They're going to be cold. It's going to make it cold. Overnight, from Friday into Saturday, we're actually going to be partly cloudy. Clouds will thicken back up on Saturday. And for Saturday, we're probably, at least for some of us, maybe not everyone, but for some of us, we're looking at highs early in the morning, say 3, 4, 5 a.m. into the low 30s. And then temperatures for a good portion of the area are actually going to fall back into the upper 20s. And then the clouds will act as that blanket that we've talked about before and just kind of lock us into the upper 20s through most of the day on Saturday. Right now, look at that. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It is 33 in Joplin. It is, again, a bit chilly, but most of us are about 20 degrees warmer than where we were 24 hours ago. Because remember, around this time, Iola, you were sitting about 10 degrees and, now you're at 32. So still cold, but better. Most of us into the 30s. That's low, mid, and upper. We got Neodesha, Parsons, and Independence now, though, sitting into the 20s. As we go through the morning, low to mid 30s to start. Sunny skies, calm winds, still sunny by late morning and pushing right around the mid 40s out there. Our highs today, again, upper 40s. I think a number of us will make the low 50s. And then we're mid and upper 50s tomorrow. Then that cold front comes through. 20s Friday night. 30s early Saturday, teens for lows Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 20s for highs Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Maybe a couple of showers Wednesday. We won't be back to normal until next Saturday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
A high school student played her way into history, earning the title of Oregon's first female chess grandmaster in history.
Dylan Scott had the opportunity to visit this talented team.
If you're looking to take on the Oregon state champion in chess, look no further than room 216 here at Westview High School, where 16-year-old Zoe Tang is proving to be a women's grandmaster and schooling so many in the process.
It's obviously really special to me because I wanted this title for like a long time, basically when I was starting playing, and I saw all the best female players. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to have the titles one day.
At just 16, Zoe Tang has proven she's no rook. In fact, the Westview High School junior isn't just the chess player to beat in Oregon. As a newly named International Chess Federation Woman Grandmaster, she's now taking on the best across the board in the U.S. and the world.
I think one of the reasons that I liked it so much is because it's not the same every time. Like every game you get something different, and it's applying your skills into different unknown situations, just what you've practiced and what you've learned, and just being able to do that in a different way every time.
According to the Portland Chess Club, Tang is one of less than 500 women or girls to earn the title. Her next move is to become an Open Grandmaster champion, of which there have only been 2,000 all time, and less than 50 of them have been female, a position she's been making moves for since she was 7.
To have other people, especially other young girls, come up to me, and that's just really touching because it means that I can kind of try to inspire these people as much as I can.
When the future doctor or engineer isn't playing chess, she's teaching it here at Westview High School or at her nonprofit Puddletown Chess.
Her skill level is unimaginable. I actually feel really happy when I'm playing with her so that I can improve my skill as well.
Opening up her love of the game to others ready to make their first move.
She's really good. Like, I've watched her play for years. She is also really good at teaching as well. So when we're doing like lessons here, she explains it in a really common way that from beginner to advanced, everyone understands.
Tang says she'll continue to travel the globe playing competitively, but her best advice in becoming a grandmaster is to first master the art of defeat.
Part of playing chess, unfortunately, is losing a lot of games, and more importantly, just enjoy the process. Like, win or lose, have fun playing and learning chess.
That's certainly cool. I can't play chess.
Really?
I've looked into it. I'm not as smart as people seem to think, so it's just a little bit beyond.
It's a fun game. It's a hard game.
I'm sure that it is.
These
And I'm
people
sure
are like
challenging.
geniuses. They are. I don't know if you've ever watched The Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
I've wanted to see it.
She kind of was like her.
Okay.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I can play a good game of checkers.
Yeah.
That's easy enough. I can do that. But chess, I've tried, and I'll try recreationally at home, like against the computer, but I still suck. So.
Never like that.
No, I will never ever be at that particular level. The best thing that I can do for you is tell you that it's going to be pretty nice today. It's going to be pretty decent tomorrow too, and you're going to want to enjoy it because it's not going to last. Let's take a little tour around the area real quick. Downtown Pittsburgh, again, clear skies. The sun is rising. It looks beautiful out there. Same from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. Then we'll head over to the MoDOT camera just south of that at 20th and Range Line. Again, plentiful sunshine. Folks getting their day underway. And it is just an absolutely chilly start to the day, but an absolutely beautiful day in store for us. On to the future track we go, and here we are. By noon, we've got most of us mid-upper 40s, even some low 50s out there. Winds are expected to be calm or light and variable through the day. You won't really even notice them. And with all this sunshine, it's just going to feel nice. It's going to look nice. It's going to be a great day to get some fresh air. Now, overnight, winds will increase out of the south. They'll be gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour tonight. We're still clear, still not bad, chilly, but not bad. Temperatures into the 30s out there, and that's still above normal. Clouds will increase as we go through the morning on Friday. Winds out of the south increase too. Now they're gusting upwards of 35, maybe 40 miles an hour. We're looking at temperatures going in the mid to upper 50s. And as we head into the afternoon, along and south of I-44 are the better chances of a few isolated showers out there. And by 4, cold front starts moving into southeast Kansas. Winds shift out of the north, and temperatures begin to drop. That's that Arctic air. Could get a couple of additional showers ahead of it where it's still warm. The good news is we're not expecting any precipitation with this front, at least not behind it. So as it gets cold, we don't have to worry about any ice or snow. We're going to be partly cloudy overnight Friday into Saturday. And we're looking at early day highs on Saturday into the low 30s for some of us, because with those north winds and the clouds, we'll just kind of fall back into the upper 20s and just kind of hang out there through the majority of the day Saturday before we eventually start to fall back into the teens Saturday night into Sunday. We'll have another look at your forecast plus the news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Missouri State law officers and other officials await more details as they prepare to implement various executive orders signed by Governor Mike Kehoe. Governor Kehoe signed 6 executive orders since taking office on Monday, and Kehoe wants to crack down on illegal immigration and drug trafficking in hopes this will help apprehend criminal offenders. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly delivered the State of the State speech last night. Kelly focused on accomplishments such as public school funding, balancing the state budget, and tax cuts, including axing the state's grocery tax. Kelly went on to say it's time to focus on the future of the Sunflower State. And Fort Scott's Gordon Parks Museum has begun its 2-day annual celebration for Martin Luther King Day. Students from Fort Scott Community College and Pitt State read excerpts of King's "I Have a Dream" speech, along with other quotes. Their second celebration for MLK takes place on Monday, where they will host a food drive at the event.
And we've got ourselves a nice day out there. Calm winds by this afternoon, sunny skies, upper 40s. I think most of us should at least make the low 50s out there. We'll continue to have clear skies through the evening. Winds begin to shift out of the south, and they'll increase overnight, eventually starting to gust up to 25. Overnight lows back into the 30s. So again, chilly, but still technically above normal. Breezier tomorrow. Winds will be gusting out of south 35, maybe 40. Clouds increase. Some rain chances along and south of I-44. Highs mid-upper 50s. And then by about 4 or 5 o'clock, that cold front starts pushing in, bringing the Arctic air behind it. Temperatures dropping Friday night. Will stay very cold into the weekend and the start of next week. Might get back a little closer to normal by next Saturday.
All righty. Well, Cat Cafe in Los Angeles is offering free 15-minute cat cuddling sessions to help people affected by the city's ongoing wildfires relieve their stress.
Now, Crumbs and Whiskers rescues cats and kittens from euthanasia at high kill shelters and houses them in their cafe, where they encourage people to play with them and make them more friendly and adoptable. Of course, we got some cat cafes here, but out there,
yes.
You know, it's incredible sometimes the simplest thing that can make a difference in a situation like that. You know,
Absolutely.
just a few minutes of some kind of stress relief. You take your mind off of it, and it really does help.
Oh, absolutely. Great to see.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good into your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.